Our defense of Israel is unshakable. I would consider it a failure on my part, a fundamental failure of my presidency, if on my watch, or as a consequence of work that I had done, Israel was rendered more vulnerable.
Not just a strategic failure.
And I think that's not just a strategic failure, I think that would be a moral failure.
Okay, again, let me put this question now. Welcome to hour number 3 of the Steve Malzberg Show. Let me put this to Roger Simon, co-founder PJ Media, award-winning novelist, and our friend here on the show. Roger, when you see, you could take it one way when he'd say it would be a strategic failure if Israel's security was deteriorated or threatened under his presidency because of moves he made, or after his presidency because of moves he made, referring to the Iran deal, because that was the context of the conversation. But then when he also says it would be a moral failure, you know, basically what I'm getting from this is, so hey Israel, you could sleep well tonight, because if you get annihilated, I'm going to really feel bad.
I'm going to be guilty. That's a kind of very Jewish attitude. It's like, oh, I'm going to be guilty, right?
Yeah, Jewish. He'll have Jewish guilt all of a sudden, right?
Right. Yeah. All of a sudden, no Israel. Ooh, I feel guilty.
I mean, this is out to me. This is outrageous. Roger, correct me if I'm wrong. Should he not have answered that question by saying, "Look, it's not going to happen. I will not let Israel's security be threatened. Not on my watch. Not after my watch. It's not going to happen based on anything I'm doing here. Blah blah blah." Even if you don't mean it, but to say, "Yeah, if it happens, I'll feel bad." What is that?
It's what I said. It's a Jewish attempt. It's an attempt to be Jewish because he was talking to Tom Friedman. I don't know.
Oh boy.
It's you know, it's really sad, and it's kind of scary if you think about it. We can laugh about it, which we should.
No, it is scary.
It's ultimately scary because, oh, you'll feel bad about it. Oh, right, okay.
Well, that should put everybody.
You know, by the way, there's a great novel out right now called Jay by this guy Howard Jacobson. It's this kind of a spooky tale of a second Holocaust, and it makes it so real in the novel that you're going, oh.
Oh boy, Jay. Okay,
Anyway.
I'll note that. All right, I want to talk about your piece at pjmedia.com, and that, of course, is 50 Shades of Iran Negotiations. Explain that headline.
Well, I mean, first of all, it's an attention grabber. Secondly,
yes.
But besides that, I mean, that's really what these negotiations were very S&M, with Iran playing the role of the master or the mistress, depending on which way you want to go in these things, and the USA sort of as the slave. How much more can we give you, oh mistress? You know, whatever. You know, Kerry was literally on his knees the whole time. So
I don't even want to touch that one.
Well, I mean, take a look at it. I mean, that's what it was. I mean, you know, I don't think they were getting an erotic charge out of it, but that's what maybe they were. But basically, you know, it's all about desperation to get some kind, to seem like you've got a deal and a legacy, and so it's kind of moral narcissism, basically what it is. Meanwhile, I was just checking before I went on this show, as I was telling you, the size of the current nuclear weapons. They are, you know, roughly somewhere between 10 and 5,000 times what blew up on Hiroshima. Take a thought about that on any part of the world today.
That is unbelievable. You know, here's the thing. Iran's statement about the quote-unquote deal contradicts just about everything we heard from the State Department and Obama since the supposed deal was agreed to last week. So already Iran, or maybe our president, or maybe both, are, you know, misrepresenting what was agreed to.
I would say a good chance both. But I think that basically Iran agreed to nothing, and we pretended that they did. I think that's what really happened.
Well, nothing would surprise me. How about that? Are you surprised at Dianne Feinstein's attack on Benjamin Netanyahu? I mean, in the same interview where she says he should basically shut up, it's gonna backfire. People are tired of hearing him. She praised the Iranian president as a moderate who she believes and who wants peace.
Yeah, well, you know, that's our Diane. You know, she's got a lot to worry about, as I said in another article. You know, she's got a couple of $100 million that she has to keep separated between her husband and her, unless they get in trouble with tax authorities. You know, whereas Netanyahu has to worry about a second Holocaust. You know, different people have different problems. We have to be real.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. But also when I see Jerry Nadler, who's a radical leftist congressman from New York, but he's always been a supporter of Israel, touting the deal, and other Democrats. I'm just a little concerned.
It's pathetic. I didn't know Nadler did that.
Yeah, he did it this morning on CNN is where I saw him. So, yeah, you can't count on anybody. Hey, but I can count on you, Roger. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
You can. I wish I had some authority in the deal. Unfortunately, I can't mix it. But I'll try hard.
I like the 50 Shades of Iran negotiations. And check it out, folks, at pjmedia.com. Roger Simon, always great to talk to him. When we come back, we know tomorrow Rand Paul's announcing. We know that Cruz announced. We know Hillary will soon. Will Jim Gilmore? We'll ask him.